everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is about my most used handbags of 2021, and I know a lot of people do one video where they talk about both their most used handbags as well as their least used handbags, but I'm only going to be talking about my most used handbags because the ones that I didn't use in 2021, I've already sold those off. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video and you find it informative and helpful because I definitely like watching these videos myself. I think it's very important to know what handbags people actually end up using in their collection. So yeah, let's get into this video. So the first bag I want to talk about is my Dior book tote. This one is in the small size and it's in this navy toile pattern. And this was a bag that I purchased in 2020. And when I did my best and worst purchases of 2020 video, I actually ranked all my purchases. This one didn't rank that high because I didn't really have any use for this bag at the time, but this year it actually is one of my most used bags because this has become kind of like my grocery shopping bag. And last year I actually got like a lot of groceries delivered, and whenever I did go out I bought a lot of groceries, so there was no way it was going to fit into this bag. But this year I've actually been making, like smaller trips out, and a lot of my trips out of the house have been for groceries, just to pick up like a few things here and there. So that actually fit into this bag, and yeah, I would just take this into the grocery store with me. I've also taken this errand running, and it actually works out really great, and surprisingly it's still very clean. Like I don't have any twillies or anything around the handles, and I don't like do anything crazy to try to protect the bag from stains or marks or anything, but honestly it's done pretty well, and the shape has also held up. It's not like all sad looking and sagging everywhere or anything of that sort. So yeah, I have really found a great use for this bag, and yeah, I still do think it is a very expensive bag, but it actually makes me happy carrying it. And the bag that I used to use for like errand running used to be my Louis Vuitton Neverfull. But the thing is, I'm so used to carrying that bag as a shoulder bag. And ever since, I've been using mini bags recently, I just don't like having that weight on my shoulder. So this bag doesn't really fit comfortably on my shoulder. So I am kind of forced to either carry it on the crook of my arm or just like handheld. And I think because I don't have the option to carry it on my shoulder, I don't really find putting, like a bunch of stuff in here to be kind of like a strain on my shoulders or anything of that sort. So yeah, I've really enjoyed carrying this bag. It wasn't really the function I had in mind when I purchased it, but hey, at least I'm getting use out of it, and I do enjoy carrying this also. I never get tired of this toile pattern, so definitely one of my most used bags in 2021. Okay, so this next one is technically an SLG, but I'm counting it as a bag because I've been really using it the most as a wristlet, and it is my large Kirigami pouch from Louis Vuitton. And usually I have like an insert in here, and then I attach like a wristlet chain to it to make it into like a bag of sorts. I don't have it in here right now, but this is the kind of like bag I use in conjunction with my Dior book tote. So I would usually have this in here with all of like my daily essentials, like my keys, my phone, sanitizer, a mask. And the reason I have this in there with, like all of my usual bag stuff is because, if I'm dumping like groceries and stuff like that in there, I don't want it to get all mixed up with all of my keys and whatnot. So I keep it all in here so it's kind of separated, and if I'm making multiple stops that day, then if I have to leave the car, I would just carry this with me, and then if I'm going grocery shopping or something like that, I would just take this inside the book tote and take them both. So yeah, this has actually been used a lot in this year. It's mainly because I did buy the insert for it. Last year, I don't think it ranked that high in my best and worst purchases also. But yeah, I'm so glad that I found a use for this. I really do think that the set of 3 Kirigami pouches is so worth it because, if you were to buy similar size SLGs on their own, it would add up to more than the set cost. And the inside of this is just so pretty. It's this really pretty like pink color, but the outside is so durable. And this has really worn so well. I don't see any issues with it whatsoever. So yeah, it's not categorized as a bag, but I've been using it as a bag and it definitely is one of the most used ones. And next up on this list is the Polene number 8 mini bag. So this bag is a bucket bag style, and it's actually a little bit different from your usual bucket bag because it has this scallop design on it, which I personally really love because it makes it look a lot more feminine. And typically bucket bags are not something that really appeal to me, but I really love this one. And yeah, it's not one of your crazy expensive luxury designer branded bags or anything. It only costs around $300, but I've been using this more than some of my other luxury branded bags. And this is definitely such a great value for money for that reason. So this does come with like a shoulder strap that is adjustable. It's not detachable though. So what I've been doing is I just carry this bag with the top handle. So I keep the strap inside the bag. And because this bag is decently big, even though it is a mini size bag, even with all my essentials inside, there is still enough room for the strap to just hang out in there, and it doesn't really get in the way too much when I'm trying to like take things out. So I just keep it inside because I prefer to carry this as kind of like a hand carry bag. I'm not a big fan of how this looks when it's crossbody or even over my shoulder. So that's kind of like the only complaint I have about this bag, but everything about it other than that is amazing. It does have a suede interior and it's pretty lightweight for the size of this bag, and it's kind of like my go-to brown shade bag. I did sell my Louis Vuitton Nano Speedy recently because when I wanted a bag in this type of color scheme, I just reached for this because it's not as casual as the Nano Speedy, and I'm just not a very casual person. So yeah, I've been really enjoying this bag, and out of all of the bags in my collection, I think it's pretty safe to say that this is the bag with the best price per wear. So for the remaining 2 bags that I still have to talk about, I was deciding what order to mention them in because I really wanted to leave my absolute most used bag of 2021 for the last item that I mentioned in this video, but I think it makes more sense for me to talk about them in this order. So my most used bag of the year is actually my Chanel mini reissue in the black distressed calfskin with the gorgeous black hardware. This is such a pretty bag, and I could just stare at this all day because of how beautiful this black hardware is, and I really can't believe it took me so long to buy a bag with black hardware from Chanel. I really wish I got one way earlier than this, but yeah, I'm so happy that I finally have this now. I actually never even bothered to unbox this other bag that I bought after this. It was the black lambskin mini rectangular flap with the black hardware. I ended up returning that bag because on the back of it there was, I don't know, like I think either the dye didn't dye correctly on the bag, or I don't know what it was, but there was some issues with the back of the bag. So I ended up returning that, but yeah, I kind of have the urge to collect every style of black bag with black hardware now. It's not good. It's not good. I will be honest about that. But this bag is definitely my most used bag because it goes with literally everything. Whether you're dressed very casually or you're using a bag for a special occasion, I think this can go both ways because this black hardware can both look very edgy as well as very put together because it is like a shiny black hardware. So yeah, this bag is definitely my most used bag of the year by far actually. Even though I've used all the other ones a lot this year, it still can't beat this bag. And this is a bag that I just bought in, I think it was like June or something this year, so definitely has skyrocketed to being my absolute favorite bag. And yeah, it's just, absolutely recommend this reissue style, especially the mini reissue. It's just such a carefree bag. And if you're new to my channel, if this is one of the first videos that you're watching here, I have 4 mini reissues now, so I definitely love this style a lot. And I was actually thinking of putting a second mini reissue on this list of my most used bag of the year, but I haven't quite owned that long enough, so I figured it wasn't quite fair. But I think next year it definitely will be on a similar list. And the last bag on my list of my most used bags of 2021 is my Celine Pico belt bag. And the reason that I decided to talk about the mini reissue before this one, even though I've used that one more this year compared to this, is because if I need an even more carefree bag than the mini reissue, I would reach for this one. This is just kind of like indestructible. You know, for that one, I still have slight concerns for the black hardware chipping, and it is kind of like a smoother leather. Even though it's like a distressed calfskin and it hides scratches really well, you know, that's still like a smooth leather, whereas this is like a textured one. So this is so carefree. And the mini reissue, I would use it more with the straps doubled up, so wearing it on my shoulder. This one is one that I used most often as a crossbody bag. I just throw it on and kind of like forget about it. It's just there. And this is also a very lightweight bag. So this was my best purchase when I ranked my purchases of 2020. And yeah, I still absolutely love this bag. It does have a suede interior, so very luxurious. And I just really love the style. I basically grabbed this bag once Celine released the size, and I don't regret it even for 1 second. I absolutely love this, and this is another one of those bags that is great for casual occasions, but I definitely could dress this up too, especially if I wrap a twilly around the handle. And it's also funny because I was looking at all of these bags that made this list, and they're all fairly recent purchases. 4 out of the 5 of them are from 2020, and the mini reissue I just bought earlier this year. So yeah, I think I've done a pretty good job of purchasing things that I get a good amount of use out of long term. So that is it for this video about my most used handbags of 2021. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you liked it, please do give this video a thumbs up. And I would love to know what's your most used bag of this year. And also let me know what was your least used handbag too. And this is probably going to be my last video before Christmas. So for those of you guys who celebrate Christmas, then Merry Christmas. And to everyone else, Happy Holidays. And my next video should be my what I got for Christmas video. So if you're interested in that and any of my other videos actually, then do consider subscribing so you don't miss out on my future videos. And I'll leave 2 videos on the screen for you to watch next. So I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.